that nobody
Live.
asked for. There's been some stuff and some news, boys. Some stuff and some news. I guess first things first, welcome back playoff baseball. Ev, I know that you're probably the most baseball involved here on the show. I am rooting for the Yankees because I'm a scumbag Yankees fan only when it can maximize the pissed off I will make people. But Ev, tell us about your
Yeah,
side.
hey, listen, all the pressure in the world's on the New York Yankees right now. None of it's on the Red Sox. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I watch every single baseball game a year. I definitely don't. But I follow the Red Sox pretty religiously, and we'll definitely tune into a good amount of games. But, this is an up-and-coming team. This season's already a success getting here. And to beat the Yankees in the Bronx would just be a capper on top. And honestly, this team's posed to make a run. They got a good young roster. Got to get some guys back from injury. And I will say this. At any point in the show, if you see me just do a freak out, it's something happened in the baseball game. It is off here to my left. But listen, there's nothing to lose in this series. I just want to beat the Yankees.
Boston Evan with the small market bullshit. Look, it was just a success that we got here. Like, look at how good we are. We're so young and talented. You're Boston, dude. Come on. Have a little bit of respect for yourself, at least.
Listen, I can't with the ownership group right now. They're fucking me. Until that ownership group gets off their yacht and stops paying Liverpool, those scumbags, we're a small market franchise in my mind. Compared to New York, we always will be.
Well, I'm glad
today.
I'm glad you brought up Fenway Sports Group because Charlie and I both suffered mightily at the chicanery that was Liverpool Football Club today. Just an all-time poor, terrible, dreadful, unimaginative, whatever you want to call it, just horrible performance.
Parlay
on
killers.
Great day. Parlay murderers.
Parlay
Dude, didn't even
killers.
give us a chance. Tough pen, but still terrible. So yeah, we've got baseball and we've got the Champions League back this week for a little bit of the bridge to get us to the next week of football because that was, I don't know about y'all, that was a doozy of a slate.
It was.
So many good sports right now. I mean, I think there was one point on Saturday that had like Ryder Cup, college football, and soccer all going at the same time, and I was just like, I don't know what to look at. In the best possible way.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. It was quite a week. So let's go ahead and get into it. I know we've got a ton to touch on. Do we want to start with the Gamecocks? Do we want to start with categories?
Well,
you had some news.
Before you jump in, listen, I'm out in Little Rock traveling again this week for work. I saw a sign today, a billboard sign, that just shocked me. Listen, I'm a Buc-ee's stan. It's the best gas station in the country. Everyone's always, they're famous for their advertising on the billboards. 200 miles to Buc-ee's, 180 miles to Buc-ee's. I saw a Buc-ee's sign today on my drive, 519 miles until your next Buc-ee's. 519 miles. That's out.
That's halfway across the country.
That's absurd. That's a 6-hour drive at least.
Gee, I mean,
maybe they're targeting truck drivers.
If you think about it, though, yeah, like a semi driver who's just going through and it's like passing through Texarkana. It's like, finally, I can get me a Texas cheesesteak burrito.
Here's the problem, though. They don't allow trucks there.
That is tough.
That's soil sad.
So that truck driver's got to park his rig somewhere else and walk in to Buc-ee's. Is what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me? Oh, God. That seems like a big design flaw. There's not like a Truckies like next to Buc-ee's.
Well, so I think the trucks can go and like park off in the corner somewhere.
But
they can't fill up on. They can't go to the gas.
Find a Walmart. Okay. Walk to Buc-ee's.
But I just had to tell somebody about that. Like that's out of control. Like 519 miles. I have to do a double take. It must be like a billboard bundle deal or something that I've never heard of. But
dude, you know who else has crazy billboards like that? Right? If you're ever driving down 95 to South Carolina and you go past what's it called? South of the border, like 3 or 4 hours away in North Carolina, when you're driving down 95, it'll be like you never saw such a place, and it's just a big picture of a sausage south of the border, like 250 miles. It's insane. But yeah, 500 plus is absolutely ridiculous.
I thought you were going to say fireworks.
Oh, no, they do have the fireworks sign. That's Jabs on 85.
Mm-hmm.
Real
I just had to get that out there before we talk sports.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just insane.
So, like I said, boys, there was a ton of college football. So, do we want to start with categories? Do we want to start with Gamecocks? Do we want how do we want to go?
Well, hey, let's at least just acknowledge a nice thing. What a happy week to be a Gamecock fan. Finally needed that win.
We did need that win.
But I think let's dive into the slate and wrap up with the Gamecocks today.
Okay. Perfect. I took a bunch of notes on this slate. I'm gonna Boone reads a list really quick. Duke dominates. The Jeremiahs, they dominate. Arkansas overs continue to dominate. LSU versus Ole Miss, kind of a snoozer. Auburn, thanks for the cover. Wake and their sad field storm attempt. Fuck Pitt. Illinois, great comeback. Utah, huge bounce back. Ohio State is really good. Penn State is pussy. Bama is back. And SC is so back.
Yeah.
That's my list. That was like a rundown in 30 seconds.
It's like a brain download of topics.
Yeah. So where do we want to start?
What about biggest riser?
Okay, I'm down. Why don't you kick us off, Chuck?
Well, I had a few, but I think a good place to start would be Dante Moore. What a coming out party that felt like. Just to come in, there was like a point in overtime where I was like, here it is. Here's like the moment that's going to be too big for him. And then I think he just like did an RPO, scrambled outside, juked some guy out and threw a perfect ball for a touchdown. And I was like, oh my word, that's it. That's game. So he's my riser, but I'm sure there's a few more I could name if you guys don't jot them down.
Yeah. Why don't you take us next? We'll make sure to cover all of them before we move on. But yeah, Dante Moore I think was my biggest riser as well.
I thought he was just incredible, and I mean I'm sure we're going to get into this, but James Franklin's face got to start getting numbered. He can't win the big game. He just can't win the big game.
I hear you.
4-21.
He's been so good, like overall. I mean, I guess what would you rather try to move on and potentially blow up all the success, or just keep taking 10 wins, 11 win seasons and keep going?
Listen, I would personally take the 10 win seasons being a Gamecock fan, but I'm not a loser either. I want the national championship at the end of the day. And if you're a program that's kind of hit a plateau, I would honestly say a plateau.
I don't disagree with that.
Especially the historic, apart from the Sandusky ruining everything and all that stuff. It's a program that expects national championships. So I think whether I would be okay with it or not isn't a relevant question. It's whether the Penn State fan base is. And I don't think they are at this point. So
I hear you.
Should
they be thinking of their program this illustriously? Penn State, at least in my lifetime,
well,
my football watching
big word
lifetime,
alert. Big word alert.
Sorry. I couldn't think of another word.
That threw me off.
But Penn State, at least in my football watching lifetime, has not ever been they've been relevant most of the time, but they've never been a serious national championship contender.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
But they also had to recover from a scandal.
But they were around. I watched football before the scandal too.
I know, but they're also on the tail end of Joe Pa's career.
Yeah.
So you got all those things covered.
It's 4-21 now versus the top 10.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, that's it's great being good, but what does it matter if you can't win the big one?
The real interesting game that I've got my eye on, I don't know when it is, but is that Penn State-Indiana game. That's going to be interesting because I guess I'm already chalking off a Penn State loss to Ohio State because, again, my only note is Ohio State is really good. I assume they're going to lose that one, so they're going to have to beat Indiana to get locked into the playoff, right? I mean, you're probably not going to make it with 3 losses.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know this year. I can see a couple of 3-loss teams in.
There could be. But that'll be interesting.
To move back over to my riser, Ty Simpson, Alabama.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought he played a really, really good game, and I also have my note. Boone, you said Alabama's back. I almost just went with the riser as Alabama. I mean, that team looked really, really good. To go into Sanford and win that game in the longest road streak in college football was impressive. They were very impressive. Ty Simpson was impressive. With Mateer down, definitely becoming, Dante Moore as well, becoming the front runners for the Heisman pretty quickly. It's going to continue to grow the next couple of weeks. but they looked good. Maybe they just weren't ready to start the year. You know, they got a little slow, the bad weather in Tallahassee, whatever it might have been. And we can get into that game here in a minute as well. But, I mean, Alabama and Ty Simpson looked really, really good. And I think he's silenced a lot of the doubters.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all fell into this trap like I did. Florida State loses on Friday. So then I'm like, well, Florida State might not be that good. I think Georgia's really good, so I'm going to hammer Georgia now. Because Alabama's probably really bad if they just lost to a team that might not be good, if you follow that logic. And then Alabama came out in that first half and was just absolutely dominating. Georgia just looked out of sorts. So interesting. I don't know if I think Ty Simpson has a Heisman shot, though. I have to see a lot more. But big riser for sure.
I feel like he's the kind of player he needs time in the pocket,
Yeah.
and then when he gets that time, though, he'll find those receivers. But yeah, that's a great riser, Evan. He was in my short list of 3.
Yeah, and I'll this could be this could be cheating because this guy, we all knew how good he was, but I mean, 4 touchdown performance after all the shit we talked about in week 1, him not even got like 8 carries in the first game against Miami. But Jeremiah Love is if anyone forgot, he is still the best running back in the country. Ahmad Hardy,
And he has autism.
Yeah, that was quite a story.
Had no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
He taught himself Japanese. His family's him and his dad are at cartoons, comic books. Super cool. It was a wild story. I can't believe that hadn't come out until now. I mean, maybe they were trying to keep it private. It was shocking to see a game day. And let me clarify, I'm not 100% sure if it's autism. I think it's something on the spectrum. So if I misquoted there, excuse me, but it was definitely good that way.
I did check before the show, plus 2,800 for Heisman right now.
I love that.
If you wanted to buy back in, plus 2,800.
I wonder what it moved from. I wonder what it was before that game.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably at least like plus 4,000, plus 5,000. But if you also take a look at Notre Dame's opponents coming up, they're about to potentially go on an absolute tear. So
yeah, that's actually a great. I'm probably gonna lock that in after the show. But while we're talking about Notre Dame, because I think Notre Dame as a team could also be included in a riser. Obviously, the 0-2 start, not great. But if you look at who they lost to now, I mean, it's the number 2 and number 6 team in the country. I don't think anybody thought Notre Dame was, well, maybe some people, never mind. I was going to say, I don't think anyone thought they were a top 6 team in the country. So the teams they've lost to make sense to me at least. But I actually don't want to talk about Notre Dame here. I want to talk about Arkansas because my cup runneth over with Arkansas overs. It is incredible how that defense shifts so many points so easily and so quickly. I love them. I love everything about them.
How many did they have in the first half? Is Notre Dame at 40?
The over was 62, and I needed a field goal at the end of the first half to cover.
I think Notre Dame probably had 45.
Notre Dame had 40. It was 42-13 or something.
Insane.
They just play the most ridiculous games. I do fear Sam Pittman is going to be out. But
he already is out. Sam Pittman. Sam Pittman got fired on Sunday.
Dude. I had a long Saturday night.
Sam Pittman's fired on Sunday, and then they fired 3 coordinators yesterday.
See, that's the problem with doing a live show. Is that I'm just going to have to wear that egg on my face.
Listen,
I completely missed that. Bobby
Petrino back in, yeah.
Wow. I mean,
listen, I'm in Arkansas. Right now. I actually talked to a lot of blue collar guys, and he was talking he was excited about Bobby Petrino coming back. So
okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that translates.
Bobby Petrino's an offensive guy too, so maybe we get more points on their side too, and we, who knows?
The question is, can Bobby Petrino handle the NIL situation if he is to stay in Arkansas? Past this.
They didn't bring him back. They didn't bring him back to not hire him full time when they fired Pittman. That was always the play.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
What other risers do you have? I have 3 more, but what other ones do y'all have?
I got none. I'll let you spout those out.
All right, Devin Dampier continues to be awesome. Duke, big comeback. And then South Carolina defense, but we'll get to them later. Chuck, did you have any other ones, or are we all good?
I'm sure we'll get there as well, but Virginia.
Oh yes, yes. Virginia. What was it? 2 weeks ago when they just kind of blew that game against NC State. Like they're one little fuck up from being
They can score. They can
they
definitely
can
score.
score. That was the game I first realized that NC State was an overhor, but maybe UVA is who we need to shift our brains to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, besides that one mistake, they could easily be undefeated.
Yeah, and then I mean I think we'll also get to the game of the weeks here in a moment, but I think the obvious one as well, Oregon. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
You got to put them up there. I think they're what third in the
Yeah.
nation now, so we're second. So
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next category, and then we'll get into best game because I'm sure we all have some big ones here. Ev, what was your what are you doing moment of the week?
Let me reenact it real quick. That fucking idiot on Indiana got it backwards.
Oh,
and listen,
God.
I'm going to jump to the gambling corner. I hate Indiana. They're shitty fucking players. One of the worst beats I've ever had in my life. To cost me the cover? And listen, Fernando Mendoza, my biggest riser last week, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. One of the biggest losers I've ever seen. I think he had money on the game. Unbelievable. There was no need to do that. The game was over before he hit the end zone.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I don't know why he keeps running. That's the craziest part to me.
Evan, you're chopping up for a little bit for me, so it makes the rant even better.
Yeah. What about you, Chuck?
I got a few. I just got to start with getting it straight off of my chest. Drew Aller, what the heck are you doing, man? Just it's first down, and to throw that interception, that was, yeah. I'm not even gonna. We'll get there in game of the week. My other one is the Kentucky player who threw the ball at Lenora Stellar's grandpa.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but you better watch your ass. All right, don't ever do that again. And then Boone, let's hear yours.
So I'll actually show y'all mine too. It's a shitty picture that I just pulled off Google really quick. The Wake Forest fans preparing to rush the field and try also at the same time to psych out the kicker who's about to make the game-winning kick.
I saw this.
Why are they over there? I don't know if y'all can see my mouse, but why are they to the far left? Why are there so few of them? And then ultimately they lose in overtime, and I think it was overtime. It might have been, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's overtime. They ultimately lose in overtime, and then they just all are standing there. No field rushing occurred. They're not. You're not even in the kicker's field of vision. I don't know if that's a rule, but if you're already storming the field, you're breaking all the rules anyways. But just the sad, pathetic, slowly walking over to get ready to storm the field, only to not be able to storm the field because you blew a 17-3 lead.
There's like three stewards stopping them.
Dude, yeah, it just the amount of the lack of people also is just it kills me.
Yeah, definitely different than Virginia.
Dude, Virginia with the fastest field rush of all time. Like
of all time.
I thought Squirrel White was going to be embedded into the ground.
Yeah, you just see him and get lost in a sea of people.
Yeah, immediately.
But before we move on, I do have one more that I had jotted down here. I had to look up his name actually. Talon Taylor. Okay, dropped an absolute dime from Gunnar Stockton straight into his breadbasket, and he just absolutely dropped it. Complete whiff, no one even around him. It was a simple touchdown, and that would have made Georgia go on to win the game. That was a huge "what are you doing" moment for me. I mean, that was a peach of a pass.
Being wrong, Charlie and I on the preview show, being wrong on both of the biggest games was not the best for the boys. Last thing on that Penn State game, though, I just want to Atticus Sappington.
What a name!
That is the name of college football now. Talk about a lacrosse name. But that's all I have for that note. Ev, what was your best game of the week?
Oops, sorry, was that me asking me? I'm
Yeah.
having a little bit of internet issues here.
Yeah.
My best
Game of the week.
My best game of the week is going to be Florida State, Virginia. Just what a game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Just an incredible game from start to finish. Yeah, just a great way to kind of kick off the week too. Did I lose money on the game? Yeah, I did. That part sucked, but it was a hell of a game. So great way to start it. Listen, I'm not sure how good Florida State is. I'm not sure how good Virginia is, but it was a great game to watch.
Yeah, I think we talked about that game on the Thursday show about it. Like, what is that line? I feel like that's a bad line. I'm going to take that line anyways. And just hating it the entire time you have it. Just like, why was that even there? It was one of those. But credit to Virginia. Fun game. I was watching the Saturday morning slate with a buddy who went to Clemson, and he was just sitting there like biting his tongue. We were talking about the Florida State game because Cade Klubnik and the UVA quarterback Chandler something, they were in the same class, and Chandler wanted to go to Clemson apparently instead, but Cade had already committed there. So that was a fun little like drink my enemy's tears kind of moment. Really enjoyed that.
That was also my game of the week.
Good, how about you then?
The best game that I watched, and I'll hand up, I won't pick the Penn State or the Alabama games because I was actually at a Goose concert that night, so I didn't watch them live. I since went back. But the best game that I watched live, I think personally, was Illinois, Southern California. Noah will not call them USC on this show. Southern California had the lead. They were winning. After Illinois kind of dominated the game for the most part, SoCal came back. Illinois with a last-second field goal to win and kind of beat off some of those demons from the Indiana game. Unbelievable game start to finish. And the Big Ten is interesting. Like, we're seeing a little bit of conferences take shape now, I think, and things are getting interesting. I'm starting to see some pictures that I'm liking to watch. Put that on a card. Chuck, would you say your best game was also that Florida State game?
Yeah, it was hard to choose this week. There were some really good ones. I think that was up there just because of how wrong I was. I thought Florida State were going to give them an absolute thumping, and it was just Virginia came out and just, completely shocked them. But there was another game that I caught a good bit of, especially towards the end, and it was just absolute madness, was the Tennessee-Mississippi State game. Went into overtime. Aguilar, went off towards the second half.
Yeah.
But that one was just back and forth, and I honestly thought Tennessee was down and out, and then in the fourth quarter just had some magic, and obviously sent it to overtime. But man, that one was fun to watch.
That was an awesome game. Mississippi State is not the team that they were last year, which I know is like a
dangerous,
but they're a well coached, good team, and Fluff Bothwell is awesome.
Yeah, they were running it all over Tennessee. For what I was able to see. And then another kind of honorable mention I think we should probably throw out is the Georgia Tech Wake Forest game.
That was an awesome
also
game.
Went to overtime, and I thought Georgia Tech were kind of toast. One of those weird ACC games where Wake Forest I think they put 20 on them in the second quarter or something like that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 20-3.
Yeah,
or something.
And obviously Georgia Tech inched their way back, but that was a thriller that went into overtime. So a lot of overtime games.
Yeah, there was. There was. I don't know. But that was an awesome game, and I'm sure we'll touch on it. Tennessee Mississippi State was so fun to watch as well. But we can circle back and touch on anything we missed. Ev, do you have a big takeaway?
Yep. The Gamecocks are fucking back, baby. Gamecocks are back. Listen, just like last year, it was the Kentucky game that sprouted the run. Gonna happen again this year. I said it preseason. I was terrified of the LSU game. I didn't want to play it at night. Feed me the fucking night game. I'm ready to go into Baton Rouge and shock the world.
I love it. Should we just go ahead and get into the Gamecocks then?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Charlie, we can circle back on our takeaways.
No, let's dive into it, yeah.
What a performance. The defense played so well. The defense is back. And there was one play specifically for me, and it's that Lenore Sellers, get out of danger, run to the sideline. That to me was a microcosm of, okay, if that Lenore is back, then we can do anything. Like he's that good when he's playing like that we can do and beat any team. LSU has not looked good, and obviously their big win against Clemson has not looked good in hindsight. Now, I'm with you, Ev. Fire me the fuck up and bring me to the darkness because I'm ready.
That like I think it was like 2 minute span where our defense just scored like back to back touchdowns had me so fired up. And I feel like that's the first time our defense has really kind of like came to play. I feel like the other games I've watched, we've just been surviving. And that was kind of the first time I was like, okay, the defense is taking control of this game. And then all our offense has to do is really just kind of show up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when the defense plays, yes, you're 100% right, Chuck. That's the first game that I was never like nervous for it. Never super nervous for like
they were tackling like
yeah.
Here's the big thing on this. Listen, everyone can say it's just a Kentucky win. It's not that. It's how well the win was, how well we played during the win that gives you a lot of confidence. It's not about the opponent. It's, hey, we did so many things right that I can be confident that that's going to give them confidence. It's the fact that they improved on so many things that were clearly awful. Are there still improvements that need to be made? Yes. But under the Beamer era, it's something which I still will not understand for the life of me. We start seasons slow. We have every single year he's been there, and we continue to get better. And we're now into October. And then the team really plays its best football in November under Beamer. So listen, we have an incredibly hard slate coming ahead. I want to say we have 4 top 10 teams matchups, right?
LSU, Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yep. So that's insane. Listen, we're going to get a Oklahoma team that's not going to be firing on all cylinders, luckily, with Mateer out at home. So we'll see.
Yeah, and we'll see what – I mean, it's weird. Before this week, LSU gave me a lot more anxiety than Alabama, and now it's completely the opposite, which is weird because Alabama's a home game and LSU is obviously in Death Valley. We'll see, man. The offense has to continue to play well. I liked that Matt Fuller kid. I liked watching him run a little bit and get some touches. And then if Vandrevius Jacobs is just going to do the I'm going to run faster than people play, I like the way he does that play specifically.
The only thing is I still need to get more receivers involved. I need more Nick Harbor. I need a lot more Mazio Bennett. Yeah, where's Jared? I don't know what the issue is.
Jared Brown being a no-show all year, because it's one of those weird things where we watch social media in the summer to just get any taste of football, and Jared Brown was all over the Gamecock football Twitter all summer. It's one of those things that you kind of expect.
Here's the only thing I'll say. If you look at last year, comparatively, you had guys like Mangrum and Dalvion Campbell kind of come in late October, early November, and just start making huge plays for us. Is that going to be the story this year too, where it's just going to be, hey, it's going to be so-and-so's game with one superstar? So Vandrevius Jacobs is almost taking on like a Josh Simon role right now. We're just kind of being the bailout guy for Illinois. Of course, different tight end. So I would love to see tight ends get a little bit more involved too. I mean, where's Michael Smith been as well? But that's the thing. It's like, and I think that's the biggest issue being a Gamecock fan. I feel like I've just been getting fed a lot of bullshit in the offseason. I just don't know what to believe, but I'm not going to worry about that. We got Lenore Sellers and we got the defense. Yeah. And I'm going to let those guys carry us. I don't really care who does it on offense for me, as long as someone does it.
And Judge Collier got back in the rotation a little bit this week, which was great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When Sellers gets his scrambling going and when we get some running game going, it's just crazy how much it opens up the field too and just changes the whole scenario, because I feel like in those losses, when you can't run the ball, you can't throw the ball, and then when you can't throw the ball, you can't scramble. It's just like a domino effect. But Sellers is at his best when we have like multiple threats. And the defense is thinking about multiple things. But you guys make a great point about the schedule. I know we're going to run the gauntlet. What gives me some hope against Alabama is just that FSU game and watching them go away against a shifty quarterback.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of wonder, could we pull that off? And then LSU scared me a lot more before Ole Miss, but it's there's definitely some winnable games.
We have our bye week.
Here's the thing with Alabama.
Go ahead.
If we go, so who do we have coming up? So it's going to be
LSU.
This week, then we get
LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss.
A&M. It goes 13-5, 10-4, 6.
Yeah.
So we finished with 3 top 10, and we have five top 15.
Wait, we have. Is it 2 games and then Alabama, or is it 3?
It's 2. We have bye week and
LSU.
2 games.
We have 2.
LSU, Oklahoma.
Okay. So listen, we beat LSU then Oklahoma. I bet we get game day in South Carolina against LSU or against Alabama. Listen, that place is going to be rocking coming off 2 big wins. That's going to be a tough place to play. I will be there, and I'm going to be drunk as shit.
Another good indicator, another good kind of measuring stick, and we'll get into this on Thursday for those of you who listen to the preview show. But Vandy, Alabama, and obviously we've played Vandy. We know how they work. It'll be interesting to see. Man. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Anything else on the Gamecocks before we circle back?
No.
Let's go beat LSU. Right.
Chuck, what was your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway, I think, God, so many risers, right? So many teams I feel like they kind of proved themselves this week. Ohio State being one of them, they solidified themselves. Alabama, we talked about, we're back. But my biggest takeaway is just Penn State just looked, I mean,
yeah.
Obviously they got it going towards the end and they took it to overtime, but I felt like a lot of that was just game script and Oregon just not really like being aggressive a little bit and taking their foot off the gas. But all week we just heard like it's wide out, that the veteran defense, Drew Aller is gonna be able to solidify the running game, right? And I felt like Oregon just shut all of that down. They couldn't run the ball. Oregon was moving the ball way, but Oregon should have had 17 points in the first half. I mean, the way they were on the box score. So Penn State falling off and Oregon proving that they're a very, very real team after, not playing anyone all year, which they hadn't, and now they have. But that was the biggest game and biggest takeaway for me.
Is it possible that Penn State is just the same Penn State team minus Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren? Is that possible?
Maybe worse.
Yeah, is that possible? It's just that you take away their 2 best players, and then other than that, it's the same team.
And Drew Aller looked bang average to me. Dude, there was a lot of preseason talk about him being the best quarterback in this class, and no,
guilty.
Absolutely not.
I was guilty.
I think we should just disregard any preseason talk about quarterbacks.
Just throw them all out.
Ignore it and look at the eye test. And how about James Franklin calling out the fucking? How about the James Franklin calling out the Penn State fans, saying the whiteout was not that good? Love that.
I saw a lot of that though. I saw a lot of neutrals saying, "Hey, the whiteout was not what I remembered." Like I saw some clip of like one of I think it was like the second drive, and it really wasn't that loud. But then when I was watching it, I was like, that sounds like a hard atmosphere. But Oregon seemed to handle it.
Penn State is, I don't know. My biggest takeaway from the week is kind of similar to yours, Chuck, but specifically the SEC. If you had a $100 bet right now, who would you pick to win the SEC at the end of the season? So I have no idea. The SEC feels broken in such a good way to me right now. Like LSU, we all thought could be a favorite. They've looked average. Ole Miss, maybe they're absolutely incredible with Trinidad at the helm. Alabama, we all sold and said we're left for dead, and now they're good. Georgia, we all thought was good, now it's bad. Tennessee is good, but then is Mississippi State good? It's chaos in the SEC.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
Do you mean win the SEC, or who's going to go the furthest in the SEC from the SEC?
Win the SEC championship this year.
Oh, I don't know. I know who's going to go the furthest though.
Georgia.
No, South Carolina.
But Boone, I still like, obviously apart from the Cox, I still like Georgia. I feel like that game could either gone one way or another, but I think they're gonna just get better throughout the year. But I think you make a great point. Like when you look at traditionally how you would think the SEC would fit in this year. I mean, what Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and A&M all at 4, 5, and 6 respectively, and
Yeah,
then Bama and Georgia kind of sitting on the fringe there. Tennessee completely out of it. Yeah, it's kind of flipped on its head. It feels like a little bit.
it has, and like even the teams that we thought A&M was maybe one of the real big dogs in the SEC the way they've been playing, and then they get backdoor covered by Auburn, which was an incredible backdoor cover for the boys. But A&M should have been winning that game by 3 touchdowns. It felt like if you just watched the game with no score bug, and then they let Auburn come back in. Auburn hasn't looked very good. It's just everything is everything is batshit crazy in the SEC, and I'm here for it. I think
Yeah,
it's going to be a really entertaining October.
and I said this last week as well, but I'm very curious how that A&M win against Notre Dame, that just ridiculous last minute play. I'm very
Yeah,
curious what that is going to impact when we
yeah,
get to the end of the season because A&M's sitting 4-0 right now. Let's say they pick up 2 losses. Notre Dame, let's say they get close to winning out. It's just going to get very messy towards the end.
it's going to get really messy. Like
A lot of good
every
teams.
A&M fan is salivating over the potential of beating Texas for the SEC championship game, because Texas doesn't really play anybody. So if they can just rely on defense, I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
A&M, yeah, I mean, coming up, A&M's got Mississippi State, who we've talked about could be good. Florida, I think they're kind of hopeless. Arkansas, coachless. LSU, who knows? Missouri, I think is still fraudulent. Then they have us. I mean, A&M could go on a real run down the stretch.
Absolutely. Comes up to us to roll to the College Station and get that done.
That's right. That's right. The boys will be live on set. Speaking of, we got to book hotel or book flights, but we'll talk about that. Any other college football news? I mean, we touched on a lot of stuff. I just want to make sure LSU Ole Miss was a game we were excited about, but I have really no notes. It was kind of a boring game. Aaron Anderson, if he would have caught a touchdown, would have cashed my parlay. But other than that,
Weeks puking was kind of funny.
yeah, that was good. But Jeremiah Smith is still good at football.
Yeah, and just Ohio State in general. I feel like this could have been a week where everyone was sitting here saying, "Oh my gosh, the whole top five's been torn up," but Ohio State just very boring week. Just handle business.
Ohio State, like I think they turned it over on downs maybe, and then they fumbled like a punt return both in the first quarter, and Washington got held to 6 points off that. And I think those were the only two field goals they made all game, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 24-6, I believe.
That defense is terrifying.
Two first quarter turnovers that the defense then holds to just field goals. Yeah, that defense is disgusting. I mean, they're the best team in the country.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say right now.
One
One last thing I do just want to mention: caught a late game, Arizona State, TCU. It actually turned into a really good one.
Game.
Turned into a really good one, and Sam Levitt, very good at football. I can't lie. I was a bit of a slight hater last year. I just thought he was a little bit overrated, and watching him this year, he's a baller. I mean,
yeah,
fast, can throw, creative. He's really exciting to watch.
He's got big Jackson Dart on the Giants vibes
yes,
for me right now.
He does.
Which we'll switch to NFL here in a second.
Yeah.
But Levitt was my preseason Heisman long shot when we all did that. And then he lost to Mississippi State as like the number 12 team in the country.
Plus 2,200 right now, Sam Levitt.
I think that's all I've got on college, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, excited to talk preview next week. Or in a few days, I should say.
Y'all want to go to NFL?
Yeah.
Jump in.
Where should we start?
Most
impressive performances, I think.
I'd like to do this category last. So I'll let maybe Boone. Let's see your you talk about most impressive performances.
So this is a weird answer. Jackson Dart looked good. It's not my answer. the New Orleans Saints, the hapless New Orleans Saints. Listen, I think that they are probably the worst team in football. I don't think their coach is helping them out. And this could be, a trend we see with Buffalo maybe playing down to their opponents. We saw what they did with the Dolphins as well. But I was surprised with the Saints on how they competed throughout that game. There was legitimate chances throughout that I thought that they, could have taken a lead at some point against what a lot of people think is the best team or one of the best teams in the NFL. Just good job by the Saints. Good job by the Saints to not just roll over and die. I know the score looks a lot worse than the actual game if you watch the actual run of the game. But good for the Saints for trying to play football still.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Boone. Good point about the Bills. I feel like they play opponents close, but there was definitely a moment where I was like, man, not only are they going to cover, but they could win this outright. I think they're like a 16-point spread. Thought there was a lot of survivor pools.
That would have been massive for survivor pools for us.
Definitely a lot on the edge there.
Yeah. Ev, what about you? Oh, you went last. Charlie, what about you?
Yeah, I got three, so we can probably dive into a few of these. But first one, since it's kind of top of mind, coming off of Sunday night, but Cowboys. Thought they looked incredible. Thought they honestly should have won the game, if not for just the way it kind of a wacky ending. We don't get ties too often in the NFL, but Dak was my most impressive, I think, player of the week. He looked just his awareness when he's on is really great. He's getting rid of the ball quicker, which I think is helping. And he did all this without his best receiver, CeeDee Lamb. So between him and Pickens, they were just a threat all night on what we had been hyping up all season since the first game when the Packers played the Lions as one of the best defenses in the NFL. I mean, they were just shredding them. Cowboys are definitely up there for me. Did you guys watch that one?
Oh yeah.
I did. And
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll give it to you.
That was such a weird game. Obviously, we'll get to it in Gambling Corner. Packers were my best bet last week. I never in a million years would have expected this game to be a draw. I would never in a million years expected the Cowboys to score 40 points on what I thought was the best defense in football, at least right now, especially when Micah Parsons returned to Dallas without CeeDee Lamb. I mean, incredibly impressive performance by the Cowboys. And also, did we crown the Packers too early? Which, I mean, it's obviously we've only had 4 weeks, but
classic.
They have not, besides rubbing it done, they haven't looked that good.
So that was what I was going to say. They're on the fraud warning. Very much on the fraud warning. Jordan Love's kind of lived around there most of his career. And maybe the Packers just start seasons hot. I mean, they don't look very good the last couple of weeks. They're not playing with confidence. And, sometimes you see this early season NFL, like it's a team that, has some changes in the offseason, comes out, kind of plays different than what you're expecting them to. And then it takes teams a few weeks of watching film to say, hey, there's some glaring weaknesses here that we can exploit and take advantage of. And maybe that's what's happening right now with the Packers. Listen, again, we're still very early in the season, so I don't think we can call them frauds quite yet, but maybe we were also just too early calling them.
We're noticing. But the Saints last year, they did the same thing. They looked like the best team in football through 2 weeks, and then I don't know if they won another game.
Yeah, that game was just a really good meter, I feel like, because if you take away the fact Josh Jacobs just turned into a demon for 3 quarters, I felt like the Cowboys could have won that game by double digits the way their offense was playing. So that was probably my biggest takeaway, my most impressive performance. I also got to mention the Steelers. I just want to go straight there as well. That was one where I thought I don't know what to think of the Steelers this year. They're kind of they're up on their defense. They're up on their offense. They're
not good.
They're all over the place. But no, I felt like they put together a good performance.
They're not winning anything. The Steelers are in one of the worst spots to possibly be as an NFL team. They're going to win a good amount of games, and they have zero chance at competing for a Super Bowl. They have zero chance of being for a Super Bowl, and they're going to get like the 20th draft pick, 15 to 20. It's the worst spot to be in. It's a team that's going to win some games. They're maybe going to look okay at points, but you can't honestly say they have a chance at competing for anything this year. And you're not going to be able to start the rebuild. You have a hippie quarterback who's, over the hill. It's
the hippie quarterback that's over the hill.
It's just a tough spot to be in as a Steeler and a Steelers fan. I'm sorry to say it. Listen, they beat the Patriots last week, and the Patriots handed them a win, or a couple weeks ago. But it's not good. Whatever the Steelers got going, it's not good. They need a reset. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair.
I feel like if I'm a Steelers fan, though, I'm looking at my division. I'm looking at the Browns, who are they're obviously going to be stinky. Obviously, the Bengals have looked awful the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll get to the Bengals.
And then you look at the Ravens, who are like 1-3. They, it's kind of going to be an uphill battle. I think they'll probably end up winning the division as well. But if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm thinking this is the best possible start, honestly, to what I thought was just going to be like a Aaron Rodgers retirement tour, and now you're sitting 3-1. You finally put a full game together. DK looked incredible. I think it's like, if they could get a good playoff spot, who knows? Maybe they win their first playoff game.
Yeah, but do you want that for a team that's going to have a reset?
I think they need a reset, but they've also got good draft capital next year, and I don't know. I feel like they signed all those guys. Go try to do something crazy.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I can get with that one yet.
Carson Wentz was not impressive, though, so I don't know how hyped up I could get on that one.
I mean, he did throw for 350, but Ev, I think I know why you wanted to do your most impressive performance last.
The Steelers also tried losing.
They did. Tomlin tried to absolutely sabotage his team. I will not debate that at all. He fully was like, let's just see what happens, and it almost bit them in the ass. But I do have a third one, since we're on the Ravens, or since I was talking about that as well. Chiefs. Boone, we discussed it on Thursday, but I thought this was going to be like a very close game, down to the wire. Thought the Ravens were really going to push up against them, but man, Chiefs just won super handily. It was never really a contest, and I feel like you can't make them dogs, especially against this type of Ravens team. That was just a weird line.
Yeah, that was a weird line, and I'm kicking myself for not taking it in more things because we did talk about it on Thursday. But yeah, the Chiefs looked good. Xavier Worthy, it makes a difference, and then Rashee Rice gets back soon. We were just talking about it with the Steelers division. I think going back to it, the Ravens are more equipped to come back from their current state and win their division than the Chiefs would have been. Just thinking about it this way, I don't know that I think the Steelers are very good. I know the Browns are very good. I know their defense is good, though. And I know the Bengals aren't going to be good until December 13th, if at all. So if I'm the Ravens, I'm like, we can overcome this lead, whereas the Chiefs, you start 1-3 or whatever they would have been, and you still have to come back to play the Chargers, who, again, maybe frauds as well. Or you have to play the Broncos, who are finding their form a little bit. I think that the AFC West is a much tougher division, and the Chiefs need to win a lot more.
That's the division of death right now. There's so many good teams all of a sudden in the AFC West.
Yeah,
and the Raiders, I feel like, are also, they're not exactly like a Saints. They're not really a team that, I mean, we just talked about how good the Saints were, but you know what I mean? Like, they're a team that could surprise you. Yeah, they're competing. They got some players, and they're no easy win.
Yeah. Ev, I think I know why you wanted to go last for your most impressive performance. I'm putting it together now. Go ahead and kick things off with the next two categories.
Listen, I know I wasn't here to talk about it last Thursday. My apologies. Had to go see about a girl. But listen, everything I said was going to happen. Christian Gonzalez is back. The defense looked really good. Just shut down Ted McMillan. Just shut him down. Bryce Young did not have the safety valve in the defense. Apart from, a little bit of a slow start. And Drake May is having a historic year.
Historic's a lot.
There's actually been comparisons to 2007. 2007 Tom Brady comparisons are getting thrown out there.
Whatever.
I'll have to share the statistic. Nah, but hey, listen. All I can say is what a game, just top to bottom. The defense played really well. Marcus Jones having those punt returns really should have been 2 punt returns for touchdowns. I didn't know Bakari Swing started playing in the NFL so early. But Drake May just looked very, very capable with the football. Travion Henderson starting to get a lot more carries. And it was just a really, really sound win. And there wasn't really many negatives from the game. Will Campbell is really starting to play good football left tackle. I don't know how good of his numbers back. Apart from the week 1 penalties and a few missed blocks kind of cost them the game. The Patriots are looking really, really good. And I'm ready to start talking. Initially said, hey, maybe the Patriots aren't going to make the playoffs. If they can continue young team and they run a young quarterback, I'm back in on the Patriots, fully back in. Again, not going to be – I'm really liking the way Drake May's becoming a game manager and kind of growing up. If we can reduce turnovers, and listen, I'm almost ready to say I want Travion Henderson to be running back 1. I just think there's a lot higher upside and no fumbles.
Yeah, maybe, but I still think for what Ramondre brings, you still need that ability. But yeah, the fumbles have gotten removed.
I agree. But listen, what I'm saying is I just want Travion Henderson getting a lot more reps. And splitting more time with Ramondre Stevenson.
For sure. You should have like a 60-40 going at some point here soon.
And like I had made the comment, and let's comment too in my notes, and that's why I shared on the show. I do think it was a little bit of a letdown game for the Panthers coming off such a big win. Well, so I think that was just coupled with a great performance by the Patriots. And when you add in just special teams touchdowns, that really changes the momentum of a game, gets the team fired up that you can score other ways. So I think that it really helped put the nail in the coffin and just kind of sucked all the life out of the Panthers as well.
Right.
So, but a kind of better season than I expected. And really a team that should be 3-1. Again, they really should beat the Steelers if we're going to be honest about it.
They should have beaten the Steelers.
I thought the Patriots looked great.
Go ahead, take your medicine while we're on that game.
Yeah, I can give my kind of summary of my team, but I think Evan said it best. The Patriots looked awesome. Panthers are officially a get right spot. By the way, for all teams looking for one, just come to Charlotte and we'll get you right. But no, it does show just how early it is in the NFL. It shows, I think, like Evan, you pointed out, coming off of that win with the Falcons, and then you see the Falcons go and bounce the Commanders and put up like 34. Penix looked like a different player. Bryce looked like a different player last week. It's just all over the place. But a lot of the things that I liked last week were just not there against the Patriots. I think it's hilarious also that we scored the first touchdown in this game to then obviously just put up a 40 burger on defense. But yeah, I mean, there's also the fact I think we have Dolphins, Cowboys, Jets, our next 3 games. So maybe we can salvage something from that. I think if you can't win 2 of those, then just go full tank. And, just try to get someone to protect Bryce. And I mean, the coaching staff as well needs to be put on notice, I think. Like, they're not in the hot seat quite yet, but the defense, man, just hasn't even really competed in a lot of games. So it's hard to back that up, regardless of who you're throwing out there.
Would you rather, if they end up doing the tank, would you rather, depending on what draft spot, I guess my question is, would you want them to maybe look at a new quarterback, or are you still bought in on Bryce?
I think that's a great question. That's what a lot of like the Panthers fan base is kind of asking right now is like, I think someone put it perfectly. Like, Bryce is the type of guy that you could put in like an above average team, and I think he would genuinely, he could even be like a top 10 quarterback in this league. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. If you really gave him like weapons and like a really good line. But then on the other side of that spectrum, if you put him in the team like the Panthers, he can't even like bring your floor up. You know what I mean? Like, he can't really like be the guy to just like base things around. He needs to come into a good team. And I think like there were flashes of that obviously last season, but a lot of that was just survivor ball and like just playing for vibes. It feels like there wasn't even a game plan. And this season we try to implement a game plan, and it's just kind of failing. Like there's no other way to put it.
So what you're telling me is, in like a year and a half, when the Panthers trade Bryce Young to the 49ers because Brock Purdy hurt his elbow again, buy stock immediately on the 49ers because Bryce Young's about to go off?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you see what Sam Darnold's doing, Baker's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely buy stock. But I still think like there just hasn't been enough investment in supporting Bryce to write him off yet. Like okay, we got a receiver. We know we got a guy in Tet. Like that's not just it. You gotta obviously also you need so much of what the Panthers have been. This is my Panthers rant. Has been defensive problems. Like we put up a historic amount of points last season, and then we go into this year kind of not really with like a whole shift, not really like a revolution on defense. You're gonna get the same thing. So like the Patriots are good, but should they be putting 42 points up on you? Like I don't know, you know.
The Panthers could have really benefited from like 3 first-round picks for a Brian Burns type guy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might have been.
Well, I mean,
that might have been the trade to make.
And that's the story, right? Like we've mismanaged a lot of like the backroom stuff. Tepper has not hired great guys, and then like
Tepper has been a dipshit.
Yeah,
he's been horrible as the owner of the Panthers. It's been just atrocious decision after the next.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of those compound. A lot of those compound, yeah. So make Luke Kuechly head coach and just call it a day.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly and Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Have him run the shop.
Although maybe not Steve Smith. He hates Charlotte right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Playing better and better. Drake May's looking at him more and more. First 100-yard receiving game too, which is a very good thing for me to see. For NFL touchdown. Hunter Henry, great job getting the ball.
It's the Cardi B bump.
That's all I got.
The Cardi B bump, yeah, I know we should have hammered that more. I'll touch base on my Colts who took their first blemish this week.
Hell of a game though.
This is such loser behavior, but it was a game that made me more confident in what we have going forward. To lose that game by 7 against a team that a lot of people picked as like the no-brainer bet of the week. Obviously, the Rams did cover at the end. 2 big mistakes by the same player is what cost us in that game. Is the way I saw it. Adnan Mitchell making an unbelievable play, spin move, and then just the silly drop, and then obviously the holding on the Jonathan Taylor long touchdown run. That was also a parlay killer. I did not have the greatest week, but the Adnan Mitchell makes 2 mistakes that takes 14 points off the board. The Colts competed. The defense looked fine as long as the ball wasn't going to Puka Nacua, who absolutely torched us for 170. There was a defensive slip on that last play to Tutu Atwell on the touchdown. Obviously, just some things to clean up, but against a really good team, we didn't get blown out. It was in LA. We played well. We competed. Jones threw 2 interceptions. Finally threw an interception this season, and doubled his tally quickly after that. But they weren't like bad. I mean, it's one of those weird losses where you're going to take a loss at some point, obviously, throughout the season. This is one of those losses that, like, on the road against another team that should be undefeated, if not for what happened against the Eagles last week. It's one of those losses I can live with. Now, the big question is, and we'll get to it on the preview show, your next 2 games are both at home against the Raiders and the Cardinals before you go to LA again to play the Chargers. You have to win those next 2 games. I mean, it's that simple. The Raiders are pesky. The Cardinals without Line. What's the running back's name? Just got hurt. James Conner. Without James Conner, the Cardinals are a lot less scary of a proposition, but you have to win both those games at home to keep the momentum that you've built on the season. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Overall, Colts, I'm still optimistic on what's going on.
Yeah, can I just also say this was a heck of a game.
It was an awesome game. It was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. Just first of all, two crazy shortfalls that you mentioned by the Colts. But
by the same guy.
Well, the Jonathan Taylor play that I did catch a glimpse of, I think the one that was called back, I believe.
Holding, yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a play to have called. I mean, we said it last week, but Jonathan Taylor is incredible. And I feel like he just we all almost like got lulled to sleep or like forgot about it a little bit. But this season, watching him run, it's like he looks just as good as Saquon, honestly, the way he moves. Because that play, I was just like, that deserved a touchdown. Regardless of holding, like you got to give him a touchdown. You got half a touchdown for that.
Dude, that's the thing. Like the two Adonai Mitchell mistakes, one was a holding on a beautiful touchdown run, and the other was the other was a touchback on like an unbelievable. He shouldn't have caught the ball, then he catches it, spins away, beats the defenders down the sideline, and then just tries to celebrate too soon. It's two plays by one guy that cost 14 points, and they were such cool plays. Such cool plays, man. But listen, that stuff can get cleaned up. He's addressed the team. Team's good. We're good. Everything's good. I still like A.D. Mitchell. I think he's a super talented player. You just got to hope he doesn't lose confidence or his spot kind of moving forward, because I do think eventually he'll be replacing Alec Pierce. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, still, you got to beat the Raiders. That's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, and I do think on the other side of the ball, you mentioned Puka. With Browning and the whole Bengals situation and, not really sure about the situation in Minnesota either, I think Puka is the solidified best receiver in the league. I mean,
for fantasy purposes, for sure.
Well, fantasy and just he can catch screens, run people over. He can catch deep bombs. Like he's everywhere. And then you got a guy like Matt Stafford throwing to him. I think I don't see anyone, popping off more than him this year at that position.
Yeah, Puka's a beast.
Yeah, I said one thing. I mean, like you said, Jonathan Taylor, I think we kind of forgot about him a little bit. I think there's been a few players this year where we've kind of written off. They're getting older. And, usually when that happens in NFL, you really don't see a resurgence. Quarterback sometimes. But there's been a few, Keenan Allen's another example.
Yeah, great example.
Yeah, for sure. Just the 1 year off.
I think we might have lost Ev there.
We might have lost
a little bit.
But we can move on while we're waiting on him. I just have him frozen on my screen.
Yes, so do I. Do you want to do Super Bowl favorites and worst team?
Yeah. You're back.
Oh, he's back.
We lost you. Don't know where we lost you.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Just nice to see older guys, have a resurgence. I feel like it hasn't happened in a while. But yeah, sorry, shoddy hotel internet connection.
No, you're good. And this goes with, I'm going to just jump straight to it for my take that's aging worst before we get into best team, worst team, because this one's killed me. Early preseason, I was high on the Rams. I thought Puka Nacua was going to be the best fantasy receiver. I was very high on everything going on. I just thought he was going to take over the Cooper Kupp stuff, and I thought the Rams defense especially were going to lead them to probably win the division and be in a good spot. I then allowed the Matthew Stafford shoulder injury, is he going to be healthy? What's this going to look like, to infiltrate my mind? And the Rams are fine, and I was wrong. And I read the wrong news, and I bought into it too hard. I went from wanting Puka on every fantasy team that I had to not taking him in really any because of sorry, I just saw you. But yeah, I went to not taking him like basically any because I thought Stafford's shoulder was going to be hurt, and the Rams weren't going to be very good on offense because I thought Stetson Bennett was the backup. I was wrong. The Rams are legit. The Rams probably should and could win that division. I don't think I had the Rams making the playoffs. Was my preseason take.
I gotta go pretty deep.
I was very wrong. I'm just walking back takes on the LA teams right now. So yeah, that sucked. And Puka's a beast, and I'm mad at myself for not listening to myself. Um,
That's how I felt last week with the Niners, Boone. So I feel your pain. Although after this week, I
Well,
don't know.
you forgot Matthew Stafford's a guy that had a dislocated shoulder and came back in to finish a football game. So
yeah,
no shoulder pains can bother that man.
He's tough.
but he's 38 now, isn't he? He's older.
Yeah, but he's tough, man. This is the guy. This is a guy who, like, I'm pretty sure broke his shoulder on the Lions and went in the next, tried to go in the next play to try to throw. I mean,
That's what I was just
he's
saying.
a tough dude.
That was a dislocated shoulder.
Oh, I thought you meant like the shoulder pain literally before this season.
No.
Oh, no. He literally dislocated his shoulder and went back in the game.
Yeah, no, an epic clip. Yeah.
Yeah. So shame on me. Y'all want to hit your what's your worst take so far right now?
Oh, I think.
Listen, I'm going to walk a take back that I should have just stuck with my gut from the beginning of the season, just wrote out my takes a little bit longer. So my worst take is buying back in on the Vikings a little bit, and also conceding that the Packers were good. Before the year, I said both teams were not that good, and I'm ready to reverse my reverse take. So I'm back on both of them not making the playoffs.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's. I think I'd have to say Ravens. Honestly, they were my Super Bowl favorite, and after this week, things are just. I know they got some banged up players, but I feel like this is a squad where, like, before the season, I was like, man, they don't look.
I'm holding my stock. I'm holding it tightly. Still.
Oh, I'm holding my stock for sure,
I
and
still have my Ravens stock.
they could turn things into. But you got to admit, this was a team before the season where we were like, I don't think they have an imbalance like at any position, and then
their defense is ass.
Now they just look like they're gonna have to they're gonna have to go on a perfect playoff run with all their players healthy to win a Super Bowl. Whereas before the season, I thought, man, they were up there easily.
Yeah, same. I'm not ready to walk that take back just yet because they have been slow starters. But yeah, the Ravens defense is like liability is not even a strong enough word right now. It is horrible. And I thought that they would, like, similar to you, Chuck, I thought they'd put up a fight against the Chiefs, but they disagreed loudly. They loudly disagreed with that thought.
Yeah. So on that note, who is your current Super Bowl favorite? And then who do you think is the worst team in the NFL?
Yeah, I've come full circle around on this team, and I'm going with the Lions. Unlike the Packers, who did beat the Lions, to be fair, in Week 1, when the Cleveland Browns tried to mount a slight comeback, the Lions just decided to beat them by 24 rather than let them beat them. There's been no fall off to the play calling. Jahmyr Gibbs is like Travion Henderson is like a Pikachu, and Jahmyr Gibbs is like the Charizard. Like, he's just, if Travion Henderson can peak,
I just love them as a combo.
Travion Henderson's gonna look like Jahmyr Gibbs if he hits his peak form. But like David Montgomery is just a wrecking ball. They're a fun team to watch. Amon-Ra St. Brown is like, you think he's like a spam just getting targets for like a manufactured targets guy, but he makes plays, he blocks, he can beat you deep, he can beat you midfield, like in the middle of the field, he can beat you short. That team is just perfect right now.
And the defense is
a beast. Like, you don't think, and I'll just move right into my worst team. You don't think that Aaron Glenn is thinking, man, I should still be in Detroit. I took this job because I'll be honest. I'll let you in behind the curtain. Whoever lost that atrocious excuse for a Monday Night Football game, that was going to be my answer here today. And I think a lot of us knew it was going to be one of those two teams, regardless. The New York Jets. I'm convinced that shade of green is cursed by the wickedest witch of all the world, because the second competent humans put on that green, they become shit for brains, and they forget how to do everything that they've always done their entire lives. It's unbelievable how cursed the New York Jets franchise is.
Yeah, I feel like they got to start making free Garrett Wilson shirts at some point
Yeah,
because I feel like he's the one guy on that team that I would just put him on the Chiefs, put him on any decent
no,
team,
do
and
not put him
he's
on the Chiefs.
no,
Do
I'm just
not put
no,
him
I'm
on the
saying
Chiefs.
like put him on any decent team and he
Please, for the
will.
love of God, don't put him on the Chiefs. Are you insane?
It's an example, guys.
Good God. Well, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But
Don't ever talk that nonsense ever. Never again.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
would be awful.
Put him on like Baltimore though. That would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. Something reasonable.
Boone, mine were the
Not
same
just,
though.
ugh.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a monopoly again.
Exact same. I mean that Jets performance was apart from that Justin Fields play where I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is insane. The Jets looked absolutely awful.
Is it crazy for me to say that I'm still a Justin Fields believer?
I think he's average.
Yes.
I think he's good, but like, is he's right where he needs to be on the Jets. Honestly, I think he's right where he needs to be.
I think he could. I think he could lead
That's
an
the meanest thing you've
organization.
ever said to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's so rude. I think he could lead an organization to like a 7 or 6 seed playoff appearance, like consistently. I think he could be that capable, like a Derek Carr.
He did lead the Steelers last year to 6-2, and then they handed it to Russ.
Yeah, look what happened. You said that you had the same worst team, Chuck.
Yeah.
What about your best team? Did you have the Lions?
Same as you.
Yeah.
I switched to the Lions after that Ravens game, and that was all I really needed to see until they have a bad performance.
Yeah. What about you? Where are you sitting?
Yeah, so I do have my first change of the year. The Jets are now officially the worst team in the NFL in my mind. The Bills are going to stay my best team. And however, I would be remiss if we don't talk about how someone in the NFL, maybe the Dolphins organization, needs to be fired for the atrocious jerseys I had to watch all night last night.
Gremlins.
They were just disgusting. They're awful, disgusting. I don't even know who thought that was a good idea. But listen, the Jets just don't really have anything going for them. Sauce Gardner hasn't even looked that good this year. Listen, when you don't have anyone else in the defense, maybe that, affects it. But, man, the Jets are bad. I mean, that's just a sorry franchise. I feel bad for Jets fans, as their big brother, try to look out for them. But at this point, there's just nothing you can do. Maybe consider moving the franchise. I don't know. Maybe play in New York, not New Jersey anymore. I don't know. They've got to come up with something.
I know we don't see this very often in the NFL. We've seen it a little bit in basketball at times. Is it time to just consider a full refresh? Change the name, change the color scheme, change everything, blow everything up.
I don't like the green.
They probably should have changed the name from Jets after 9/11, if we're going to be totally honest.
Speaking of this game, though,
that's not a bad take, though. Honestly, I've never thought about that.
And listen, the first game after 9/11 was the game Mo Lewis hit Drew Bledsoe out. We saw what happened for the next 20 years after that. So listen,
wow.
I mean, it's not crazy to say.
Jeez, I've never thought about that.
Speaking of crazy things, though, from this game, Tyreek's knee. Honestly, just a bad week to be an elite receiver's knee. This with Malik Neighbors first, which is huge, and then that Tyreek play was awful.
So I was playing some pickup hoops last night, and I missed the actual injury. I just saw you on the group chat. I have not gone back to watch it. I think I'm good on it.
It's exploded. It's like dislocated. It was going not good. But confusing reaction.
It was bad. It was one of those bad ACL tears too. Like sometimes it's like a no contact one, and it's like, oh, he just popped his knee. It was one where the knee dislocated. You could see it dislocate, and you're like, oh, that not only dislocated, it took all the ligaments with them and snapped the ligaments.
Yeah.
Too. Like it's those awful ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like, and they said, oh, it's a dislocated knee. It's like, yeah, it's like when you have to have surgery the night of, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw those videos after it happened as well. I mean,
brutal. I think I'm going to stay offline. All right, we want to move over to Gambling Corner?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll close the thing out. I'm sure I know there's more games to touch on, but we'll get to some of those, I'm sure, with Gambling Corner. I have everyone's picks from last week. Do you want me to read those out, or you want to do the categories first?
Let's read it. Let's hear them.
All right. So going forward, I don't feel like going back to check what we've done so far. So starting this past week, I'm going to keep score on what we've got going on, and see who gets the most points at the end of the year. But for the NFL, Evan, your best bet was the Seahawks. Great bet. That was one of our survivor picks that did make it through. Seahawks look good.
Sorry I wasn't here to challenge the Chargers one. I did think about texting you guys, but I didn't think I had the wherewithal for missing the event. But, that's neither here nor there.
It's all good. Seahawks look good, though. They tried to blow it at the end, but I do like that defense a lot. Ev, your dog pick was the Raiders. Didn't pan out, but not a bad pick. So you got 1 point for the NFL slate. Charlie, your best bet was the Bucks. So no points there, but your best dog was the Chiefs. You double dogged this past week. And then my best bet was Packers. Obviously terrible. My best dog was Jags money line. So we all got through the NFL with 1 point. Ev, your college best bet was Ohio State -7. Good bet.
Yeah.
Your dog was LSU. Bad bet. Chuck, FSU -6.5. And Syracuse +4.5.
Just a brutal week in college football.
I had Penn State -3 and Illinois +7. So Evan and I are tied at 2 points. Chuck, you've got 1. As far as the parlay goes, Ev, Notre Dame +4.5, that did hit. Nathan Boone, Jeremiah Smith, anytime touchdown, that did hit. Chuck, Penn State money line, that did not hit. So another week that college is now 0-2. We were 4 out of 6 legs, so unfortunately. For the NFL, Ev, you had the Vikings money line. No, thank you. Chuck, you had Chiefs +3, good hit, and I had Parsons sack. So I swept the parlays, but was let down yet again. I'm just playing.
What a miracle sack for you. It didn't matter. But dude, if I bet it hit, how exciting that sack would have been.
Dude, I know.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I did take that straight, and I had that in 2 other parlays because I just love that prop. So that was a big moment for me. But yeah, so through 1 week now, Evan and Boone 2, Chuck 1. I don't know if we want to count the parlay legs in there too, or if that's just too complicated. But yeah, where do y'all want to go? Who wants to go first for their best bet?
I mean, I can just go right off of that. I mean, my best bet was the parlay bet, the Notre Dame -4.5.
Yeah.
Never in doubt, really.
Yeah.
No,
Jeremiah Love, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love.
By 4.5 Jeremiah Love touchdowns by himself.
I tripled down on that bet, Notre Dame, once I heard the autism thing in the game day. I just felt like, you're not going to win that air that story and then not have a big game from Notre Dame. Really wish I'd put some money on Jeremiah. I mean, I want to know what the odds were for Jeremiah Love 4 touchdowns. I would love to know what those odds would have been. I'm not even sure if the police off of that.
I bet you'd have to build it somehow. Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been quite a bet to have.
Yeah, that one was sharp, Evan. And I think maybe the only time you're gonna get 4.5. I mean, maybe Southern Cal in a few weeks, but probably the only time you're gonna get 4.5 on a Notre Dame team in quite some time.
Yeah.
But best bet was easily the Chiefs. That was another one that wasn't really a doubt. Should have thrown it in the parlay. Went with Penn State. But yeah, Chiefs were easy.
Yeah, Chiefs were way easier than I thought they'd be. My best bet was it came from my Jeremiah Smith touchdown bet. I was talking about it all day. I was hype on it, and one of the guys I was watching the games was Saturday morning was like, dude, Jeremiah Smith anytime touchdowns -140, but first touchdowns +500. So of course I was so quick to take that. It's a little 15er to win 90. Great way to start the slate. But yeah, Jeremiah Smith's first touchdown was off of the anytime touchdown was the best bet I made that day. And my worst bet came to me last night. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what possessed me. I think it's because I was having doubts about the Broncos. But the Bengals were never covering 9 points last night. Never even considered it. Never thought it was even possible. I thought I was being sharp, getting a nice little sneaky line. Jake Browning can't be that bad, all the talent they have. But holy shit, are the Bengals bad?
Yeah, that was a brutal game. We didn't
Yeah.
touch on it too much, but one that you can't even say like
Yeah.
one that you can't even say like, oh, the Broncos looked incredible because the Bengals just looked so bad.
And it was annoying because since I had plus 9.5, I almost wanted to keep staying up to see if I could sneak a backdoor. So that like made me stay up to watch this shitty ass game for even longer. But what was y'all's worst bets?
Evan?
I got a couple, but I'm gonna take my poison, dude. The fucking Vikings. Shame on me. Shame on me. Shame on me.
I was surprised that you trust.
I beat Carson Wentz.
Was that a Steelers hate pick more than anything else?
Nope. It was, hey, maybe the Vikings are good. I was like, maybe JJ McCarthy's bad. Carson Wentz is going to lead this team to victory. And then I watched. Oh
man. Yeah.
This guy's just a bad game. Carson Wentz made one of the biggest attempts I've ever seen to lose a football game, and he did it. He sealed the deal with that. And geez, an entertaining. Game. And I honestly just thought the Vikings defense was going to be better. I thought the Vikings were going to make a play.
Yeah,
and they just didn't. So.
What about you, Chuck? Yeah, the Vikings were tough one to lose on.
Worst bets. I also had a few this weekend. This was definitely a come down to reality gambling corner weekend for your boy. But worst bet just felt like Penn State. Like the scoreline didn't represent it, but man, did they just? I won't harp on too much about it, but they just got outplayed. Just looked like one team that was better than the other, and to get that line at -3 just looked like it never really had a chance until overtime. We mentioned it, Jets. I had Jets +3 in a few parlays. Even took the money line and some, and it honestly felt like a game that they could have won if just not for being the Jets and just having absolutely zero discipline. Won't harp on there, but then probably my statistically worst bet, Syracuse. Thought that they might have a chance. This also makes me feel like, how the heck did they beat Clemson that badly?
Well, dude, if you think about it, the two teams that beat Clemson, Syracuse got rolled at home against Duke, and Georgia Tech almost lost to Wake Forest, who everyone thought would be the third worst team in the ACC.
Yeah, weird.
So, I mean, Clemson could there's a very real possibility that Clemson's just not a good football team, too.
No, yeah, but I feel like the entire ACC is just like any given week. I mean, obviously the SEC as well, but really, like, the ACC, I feel like just take a bunch of dogs to win it, and you'll come out positive.
Yeah. Well, I can transition right from there to my sweatiest win because
yes,
thank you, Aaron Glenn, for that 2-point conversion. That was totally unnecessary because I had +7 on the Jets on a team's line, and boy, oh boy, did that make me a very happy young man. Incredible. The Jets just with a garbage time and then no reason 2-point conversion really to give me the 7 clean. That was a beautiful sight.
Yeah, what if they didn't get it?
I would have been furious. Well, I mean, if they didn't get it, then at least they went for it. Because if they kicked it, it would have been 8. So, because it ended up being 6, I think, 21-26 or 5, something, I don't know. 27-21, yeah. So it ended up being 6. So if they would have kicked the field goal, I would have been at 8 regardless. So just going for it at least made me happy. What about you, Ev? What was your story? Reminder to anyone who's tuned in late.
What an outing for Max Creek.
Evan is watching the baseball game. What was your sweaty?
Gotta give Max Creek credit. Shut up. The Seahawks.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
for sure. They made it a little nervous, but last second field goal got it done a little bit, but they got it done at the end of the day. So big win there.
What about you, Chuck?
Yeah, I really thought the Seahawks were going to screw us, honestly. Mine, I guess you could throw it in best bets, but it wasn't one that I made beforehand. It was kind of just a lot, one of those classic live bets, but took Arizona State down to TCU at home, and beautiful comeback. Like I said, Sam
Yeah.
Levitt looked awesome, and but it was sweaty. It was sweaty going to that fourth quarter. So yeah, I think not a whole lot of sweaty bets this week because not a lot of wins. So
Yeah, that
not a
was
lot to choose from.
when I got back from the Goose concert. That was the only game that was still live, so I was tuned in for just the fourth quarter, but I didn't know how any of it like got there.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and see it. But Chuck, we'll stay with you. What was your worst loss?
Worst loss?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it had to be the Panthers. Just getting absolutely wiped out. Had a little like just sprinkle on them covering, and that quickly was over. But yeah, easily.
That would hurt your pride too.
Mm-hmm.
But let's hear your worst loss.
The Pittsburgh Panthers up 17 against Louisville to ultimately lose outright and not even cover the 3.5 when you're up 17 at home. Just completely disgusting. They blew it. Their punter dropped a easy snap. They blew it. They threw interceptions. They blew it. They were winning. They blew it. They missed picks. They were terrible. And they were the last leg, or they were the first leg of like 4 parlays that ended up hitting. Pat Narduzzi, you are on the shit list for sure. Ev?
Listen, it might be the worst loss of my career as a gambler. Fernando Mendoza running backwards again. I'm gonna bring it up again. I can't talk to you about how bad of. Listen, it's worse than the Rams one last week.
No. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, because that was completely self-inflicted.
That was the other team beat them. That was the other team making a play.
Yeah.
They literally.
This was sabotage.
Purposely lost the points, guys. And there's no way they didn't know what the spread is. So something's going on.
Signetti especially knows the spread.
I want an investigation. I think I'm entitled to my money back and financial compensation. I haven't quite reached out to a lawyer yet, but listen. I did see Seth Rose, a legendary South Carolina lawyer, just got a gate named after him and his family at Williams-Brice Stadium. Maybe it's time for him to win a class action lawsuit against the NCAA. I'm just saying that was awful. It was awful.
While he's at it, put one on Lane Kiffin, saying it was going to go over, and it didn't go over.
That was troll. If you didn't take that under, you were stupid. That was a troll, and you knew it. Come on. Lane Kiffin. Yeah, he's just a troll.
Listen, if Lane Kiffin had been drinking still, that over would have hit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think that wraps us for today's preview or review show. We'll be back Friday morning for the upcoming week preview. No Gamecocks this week, so maybe we'll fill that time with something else, like the NBA's top 100 list.
Oh God,
love it!
Yeah.
And another good slate coming up.
Good stride on his comeback, Jason Tatum.
He did say he wants to come back before next season or 2 seasons.
December.
Yeah. We'll see, dude. Achilles for players like.
No, he's got a revolutionary doctor.
We'll see. Trust me. I hope it works because I'm in the same boat. But I'd rather my guy just be back healthy at some point than rush it and make it worse.
Yeah.
Well, boys, hey, hell of a show. Go Cox! What a weekend for the Cox. We're back.
Yeah.
Excited for the preview show.
Excited for a bye week. We need some rest. I'm excited for a bye week.
Good stuff.
And go Sox. We're going to make a comeback here.
Go Yankees.